What's up guys, T-Hoos here with a deck profile of the new TCG archetype, Burning Abyss, which is based on Dante's Inferno. So let's get cracking. First off, we've got 3 of each Malebranche, Skarm, Graf and Seer. The Malebranches are the main deck denizens of the Burning Abyss. Each of them has 2 effects that are shared between them, and each has an individual effect that adds on top of that. So the effects they share is if you control a monster that is not a Burning Abyss monster, destroy this card, and if you control no spell or trap cards, you can special summon one of them from the hand. Now, if you use the special summon ability, you cannot use the unique ability. So in Skarm's case, that's in the end phase, you can add a level 3 Dark Fiend from your deck to your hand, Graf can special summon a Burning Abyss from your deck, and Seer can special summon one from your graveyard. So they're all very good. It all means that, it gives your deck a lot of floating power, because they can be sent anyway. Even if they use as Xyz material and get sent to the graveyard, they can still have their effects. So basically it makes all your Xyzs float, and if you send it for an effect or a cost, then it's going to get its effect. So very good at floating. Next up we got 3 tour guides. They show us around the Burning Abyss or the Underworld. Basically they search all the Malebranches, and in turn Skarm searches her, so you got a little search loop, and she provides rank 3 plays, which is the main muscle of the deck. So she's very good. She definitely has to be at 3. Next up, 2 Crane Crane. Summons a level 3 from the graveyard, and you can use it for rank 3. Very good late game. Provides you some nice grind game, some power plays late game. So very good at 2, not 3 because it might clog. 3 Caius. The deck floats really well. You always have some sort of field advantage unless your opponent's gone completely insane. So, Caius will always have a tribute, and it's good for getting rid of those pesky monsters like Winder, who might screw up your plays. That's El Shaddoll, Winder, or Midrash, as you may know. And yeah, if it's a dark monster, you can inflict 1000 damage. You can use it to banish itself as a cowboy for game of sorts, but for 1000 damage. So very useful in very many scenarios. Next up, Allure provides some draw power, because most of the main deck monsters are dark. Foolish Burial sets off one of your Malebranche effects very easily. Toolboxes it as sorts. Dark Hole, obvious. Book of Moon for disruption. Mystical Seisai for back row players. Rank up Magic Astral Force. Turns your rank 3s into rank 5s. So your Dante into Pallades, your M'Equipped Engineer into Tiras or Durandal if you choose to run it. Alucard into Bram if you choose to run that. Or Grandsaurus into Volcasaurus, as some people choose to do. I personally don't. But yeah, very good at providing power plays, especially Pleiades, because Pleiades is just amazing. Phoenix Wing Blast, very good disruption, alternate removal, so it gets rid of Winder without her getting the El Shaddoll fusion, should I say, without getting their effects off, as well as, possibly setting up a Malebranche effect by discarding it as a cost. So, it's most likely going to be a 1-for-1 rather than the -1 it normally is. So that's a very good card. It could also, brick up a draw for them if you want it to. Next up, 3 Breakthrough Skill, Effect Negation, obvious. Especially against, you can banish it from the graveyard if it's milled for Dante's effect. So yeah, that's very good. Solemn, Torrential, Bottomless and Compulse, your staple back row, disrupt your opponent's plays. Wiretap to stop their traps, because you don't want it to be Bottomless or Black Horn of Heaven. Even though it's not too much of a disadvantage, it's still quite annoying to deal with. The Traveller in the Burning Abyss. Very contentious card, this. Not many people like it. I choose it because it's recyclable with Dante, and it's like a mini Soul Charge or a Call of the Haunted. Call of the Haunted at worst, Soul Charge at best, but for free. I personally like it. I know a lot of people don't. They don't think it fits in the style, but if my opponent pushes through all my defences and I want to make a rebuttal play next turn, this lets me special summon all the monsters that got destroyed or sent to the graveyard, so I really do like it. Really do. Next up, 2 Dante. Dante is the main Xyz you're going to go for most of the time, because it's a sort of card trooper. You mill 1 to 3, gains 500 attack for each, so up to 2,500 attack it can have. And when it attacks, it's changed to defense, so you don't have to worry about its low attack points, or things like 101, or Ragnar Zero. But yeah. And also when it's sent to the graveyard, it adds a Burning Abyss card from your graveyard to your hand, so any one of the Malabranques or the Traveller in the Burning Abyss or even another Dante back to the extra deck. Very, very good. Muso Rhythm. I like Muso Rhythm because it's a beat stick of sorts, a pseudo beat stick. It can boost itself up to 3000 attack by doubling its own attack when it attacks in the damage step. And I know a lot of people prefer to use things like Acid Golem, but really, to be honest, I really don't like that, because if they somehow stall you out, you're going to lose, because this deck really relies on special summoning, and if you stop yourself, then you screw yourself over. So yeah, one of him. Tempo detaches and exceeds material from a monster your opponent controls, and all your Djinns gain 500 attack. So, you know, boosts itself up to 2200, possibly 2700 if it survives long enough. Equipped Engineer, very good card. Stops a monster being destroyed for a turn. Well, an attack monster from you destroyed for a turn by changing it to defense. Can chain to Bottomless and Torrential and things, so very nice. And it can be ranked up into Tiras, which I use quite a lot. Leviathan Dragon, just a general beat stick. Nothing fancy about it. 2 a la card for getting rid of face down cards, so a set monster or a set back row if you think it's going to cause trouble, and, you know, just general removal. Fortune Tune. Fortune Tune is, I must say, a brilliant wall. It stops itself from being destroyed by detaching its materials from itself. It cannot be targeted by card effects, so things like Compulse don't really work against it, or even an opponent's. You know, if you're playing in the mirror match, Caius won't work against it, or Phoenix Wing West won't work against it. So it's very, very nice, and you gain 500, which is, you know, alright. But the best thing about it is it works as a mini Pot of Avarice with its effect when it's sent to the graveyard. From the field to the graveyard, you shuffle 2 level 3s back to your deck, and, you know, it adds itself back to the extra. So if you use that with Tour Guide and Scarm, that's an infinite Fortune Tune wall. I've grinded people out for about an hour, until they had 3 cards left in deck and they just had to omit defeat because, you know, the wall was too strong and they couldn't get over it. So yeah, very good at grinding out. Also gave me the idea to maybe try out Burning Abyss Final Countdown. So we'll see how that tests, and if it goes well I'll put up a profile and possibly some play footage. Yeah, Zenmaines is up next, another wall, but it destroys cards in the end phase. It's used its effect to protect itself. Double Down a Magician. I use Down a Magician for things like Muso Rhythm and Alucard because they have quite low attack, and if my opponent wants to beat over them, it's quite easy to do so. So Down a Magician turns them into 2,500 beat sticks, and yeah, just generally to stop that. Very good card, and has piercing, which can be good for game-ending damage. Constellar Pleiades, rank up Dante into this. Awesome, awesome disruption card. You know, bounce a monster in your opponent's turn and yours, or a back row card, or an extra deck monster, whatever, you know, you need to get rid of. Pleiades can do it for you, and it's just quick effect, so you can chain to things. It's just brilliant. Works well with Caius as well, I found. Tiras. Tiras is good. Cannot be destroyed by card effects, but it has Exceeds material, ranked up off Equipped Engineer, and when it's attacked, or if it's attacked or it attacks, then you get to destroy a card in the end of the battle phase. So I use this if my opponent's got a lot of back row, and I have, say, Tour Guide and rank up Magic Astral Force in my hand. I can go Tour Guide Scarm, Equipped Engineer. If they have a Torrential or Bottomless at that point, I can just chain Equipped Engineer's effect, which a lot of people don't realise. So they waste the Torrential or Bottomless, and I can just rank up into Tiras, which would have been protected anyway. But, you know, Seilafy. Yeah, really good cards. So that rounds off the deck. I know it's not exactly the same as other people's decks. It doesn't run Supply Unit or Mathematician or Creature Swap, or, you know, more rank 5s and rank 3s go into them, but this is how I found the deck to run best for me. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, please test it out yourself, and if you like the video, please like, favourite, comment and subscribe, and I will see you later.